what you learned in school. Never mind what your parents told you, and disregard what your friends say. From now on, the only people you need to listen to are these guys. For the next several minutes, they'll take you on a journey through the political jungle. And when your journey is over and you're safe at home, they promise you'll be stronger, smarter, and just plain better. So buckle up, hang on to your ears, because your journey starts now.
It is a crisis of confidence. It is a crisis that strikes at the very heart and soul and spirit of our national will.
We need another man like Jimmy Carter in the Oval Office.
Sorry.
Or not. I don't know.
We're here at the gun range, and someone just shot an AR-15 for the first time.
Oh, yeah. So they wet their panties.
They did.
Let's see. Welcome to At Odds. I'm Brian.
I'm Nate. Still.
We're going to take you on a little journey today. We hope you stick around, listen to the show. We got a lot of different things to talk about. If you'd like to call in, you can during our live portion at 248-455-6337. Again, we'll have our trivia question and this day in history as part of our show. But we're going to talk a little bit probably about the Orlando shooting that took place last week or earlier this week. When did it take place? It seems like it's a long time ago.
It was over last weekend, right? Sunday?
Sunday morning, yeah. I mean, it would have been Saturday night. People were out partying, and some crazy person opened up in a gay nightclub. I'm sure most of our listeners are aware of that. What was his name? I know it was Mateen was his last name.
I thought we weren't doing that. You yelled at me last time.
Oh, we mentioned his name?
Last time I said their name.
We won't mention it.
We have to say unnamed person.
His name was John Smith.
That's weird.
You don't get many John Smiths that are opening fire on people in nightclubs, but I suppose you could.
You don't get anybody that's opening fire on people in nightclubs. It's ridiculously rare.
Yeah, it is awfully rare. This was weird. I just want to know how many people may have got shot and wounded, but killed accidentally by police officers. I wonder. I'm sure they're going to do ballistics on all the rounds. Well, at least one. At least one.
Well, not accidentally necessarily, but yeah. I don't know. That's interesting.
I don't know. I don't know how well they did it. I know that there was a supposed exchange of fire between an off-duty police officer who was being security at the club. Right. He was in uniform and engaged the person. It's confusing. I heard that it was outside the club and he ran in, and then I heard he was inside, ran out, then ran in. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. But I don't know what happened in that regard. But so, regardless of that, he ended up in a bathroom in a hostage situation.
Doesn't that prove then that having an armed person doesn't actually stop terrorism?
Well, I don't know that it stops terrorism.
Terrorism was the wrong word. Mass shootings. Because that's what we're concerned about, not deaths. Mass shootings is
right.
All that matters.
I thought about that, and I knew that would be brought up by the anti-gun people, not you. But
what's the difference?
Who knows how many people he may have saved by slowing him down and forcing him to go into the bathrooms with hostages. I don't know when he did all of his killing, and like I said, he
was in there for a long time,
3 hours.
Yeah,
but that's because he said he had a bomb and that he was wearing an explosive vest.
Are you sure that's why?
That's what we're hearing.
Are you sure it's not because this entire thing was put on by the government itself?
Oh, my goodness. I'm not going to go there.
Didn't you see the video? There's a Dunkin' Donuts right next to the club, right? Pulse is on one corner, Dunkin' Donuts right on the other corner.
Lord, give me strength.
Well, that's not where I'm going with this.
Okay.
There's a video.
No, I'm asking for strength.
There's a video.
I'm not sure about God.
You're not pretending you were a police officer?
No, I'm just saying your story is getting crazy.
Oh, I thought the Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah. And
there's a video, and it shows emergency personnel carrying wounded people towards the club.
That seems odd.
It does. And
Are you sure the
until
video
you
wasn't
realize,
just reversed? Oh, go ahead.
and they were walking backwards.
It was like a selfie in a mirror. Everything was
yeah.
reversed.
No, what I'm thinking is happening is people ran away from the club. These weren't dead people; they were like limping and injured. And then where the medical treatment
people
was,
were pushing
was
them back into the
closer.
building. You're not quite dead.
No, I'm thinking that like the paramedics were closer to the club than the people were when they ran away. Like they ran a block down the street, right? But the
Yeah.
ambulance parked half a block away, so you have to walk back towards the club
I see.
because that's what they were taking them back to vehicles. It's
I'm very
holy
confused
cow.
now. I have no. I'm not even sure
No,
there
there's
was
there's a video that says
You know,
watch,
we're in a simulation.
watch
right?
this before Facebook takes it down. They're taking people back towards the club. Why
Yeah,
would they do that
right.
unless this was a false flag?
Yeah, I hate that. And we have a friend of ours on Facebook. She's a Fox journalist. She was on the scene within a matter of hours, Holly McKay, and she says, I'm going to put all this crap about false flag and false shooting to bed. She goes, I'm on the ground here, and I can honestly say, unless she's part of it.
Yeah.
Ooh, Holly.
That's the thing. You can't ever prove it.
I trust her.
You could only prove it
implicitly.
to yourself.
Is that
Yeah, which is very dangerous of you, by the way,
know.
to just trust her.
not only that, we're a simulation.
Look, so, okay, she's there saying on the
We're a
internet
hologram.
that she's seen it. We know that she travels to the Middle East a lot, right? So she has contacts in the Middle East.
You know, she may, highly unlikely, but she may listen to our show. I doubt it. But she could listen to our show.
Oh, she might. I think she does every week.
I think she's very reputable.
Yeah. No, I know. Of course. I'm saying.
But she does travel to the Middle East a
Yeah,
lot.
that's what I'm saying.
Huh.
And it can't
we
possibly
love
be
you,
to
Holly.
actually
Don't do
cover
that.
the stories that are happening there, right?
It is, actually. So, what were we going to talk about that? Lots of stuff coming out. And we'll get more and more information that's coming out. I mean, accusations are that this was a hate crime and he was provoked because he saw two homosexual people kissing. That didn't turn out to be quite true. Find out that lots of people said he was a regular at the club, or not a regular, but there quite often. Got drunk and belligerent, so they remembered him for that. His father called him a gay sissy boy or something. There's reports of that from one of his wives. We'll get to that in a minute, because apparently he had or has two wives, which is not unusual. I have a relative that was married to a guy that had more than one wife, unbeknownst to her. And he was a Muslim.
Oh, really?
Yeah, oh, yeah, a Muslim. He had a wife in South Africa and somewhere else.
Because the Mormons do that, but they usually tell each other.
Yeah, they're aware of it. My relative, not so much.
Yeah.
She was a
Wow,
little
that's
surprised.
weird. Was
Yeah.
she angry?
Yeah,
Or
a little bit, yeah. I think this came out at their divorce, but I'm not sure.
okay.
But so it wouldn't be unusual they had more than one wife. There's other things. What else is going on about all of this? You know, he was a natural citizen. Investigate. You know, I don't think he was on a terror.
He was
a terror watch list.
He was an anchor baby, right? Or no?
I don't know.
His father was not a citizen.
No, but they were here lawfully, I think, and settled down. I don't know.
That's exactly.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know if they were.
Was his mother a citizen?
I think of an anchor baby where you come to the United States, have your child, and then go back to your home country. And I'm not sure that he didn't want, and the wife, his mother and father didn't want to stay here. But I don't know.
I think you're wrong.
I don't know
about the term.
He
It's
did
a very
wrong.
scientifically precise term.
It is not.
Brian.
Now,
In the Constitution.
it's not in the Constitution.
The Constitution doesn't matter.
It's an old document, and it's a living document. That
It's a very,
means that
very
it can-
old, living,
it can-
breathing
It can
document.
evolve, but we can't believe in evolution, so
Well,
it's not.
Okay,
can't
so the people that, and I'm going to say this as 100% truth, the people that believe the Constitution is a living, breathing document do believe in evolution. 100% across the board, every single one of them. They're all liberals.
Perhaps, yeah.
And only liberals believe in evolution.
I'm trying to think. My daughter got into an argument with people on that were anti-gun.
Liberal.
And they were quite liberal.
I meant your
and
daughter, but-
she is too, but she's pro-gun. But what did she? What would? Oh, they said that somebody quoted they used the musket, you know.
Yeah,
and then they came back and said, well, the Second Amendment's not literal. The Constitution's not literal. And I go, wait a minute. It's not like the Bible. It's not metaphorical. It's literal. It's a law. It's written to be as precise as it can be.
You just offended certain segments 99% of the Christian population.
Our audience.
I don't think so.
No, it's probably not, since there's only 3 people and I know them. Well, and they're Christians too. Yeah. Well, they just left our listeners.
Well, right, but never mind. I'm not getting into it.
Don't.
I'm just saying there's a line between the metaphorical understanding of the Bible, right, and a literal following of the Bible. There's
but when you pin people about the Bible and you say, well, what about this? Then they say, well, it was just a metaphor.
That's exactly my point.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But other times they say, well, it's literal.
That's why I said you only made a small segment of the Christian population angry with that.
46% believe in the literal word of the Bible. So
that's small.
That's fine. It's almost a majority.
But it's not.
It's close. Very, very close. This much.
A lot of clips. A lot of clips in there.
We'll refer to that later. That's an inside joke. Now,
and you can't see what we're doing.
And we can't see what we're doing, but we're making little signs with our finger and thumb as maybe a small portion of hot dog or something. And they can, the Constitution should not be taken literally, I guess.
Okay.
So
that's
cool. Ridiculous. And then I told her to immediately try to get their Facebook page destroyed, because that wasn't in the First Amendment either.
Right.
Freedom of speech.
That's right. But a Facebook page never killed anyone, Brian.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, sure.
Has it been used to kill people? Sure it has.
No.
Just like dating services and stuff.
What?
Yeah.
No, come on. That's not. Look,
murderers.
Hey, I got blamed. And so did you, and so did every other American for this mass shooting, because apparently we raised this guy to kill gays. I didn't know that.
I hate that. In Obama, I hate that. You know, he's a homegrown, and we caused him to be that way. We raised him to hate gays, and we raised him to bull crap.
And of course, when I questioned
this is a Muslim ideology of an extreme interpretation, although not so extreme.
Well, I don't. It doesn't matter.
It does kind of matter, because if you look at the surveys done of a lot of Middle Eastern countries, 70 to 80 to almost 100% of the people believe in Sharia law, and they believe in killing gays, and they believe in stoning, women for infidelity, and they believe in all that stuff. Now, it doesn't mean they actually go out and cut people's heads off and all that, but they support it. Large percentages. That's several 100 million people.
Yeah, I don't know.
In the world.
I don't know if that's true or not.
So I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, we got to be tolerant of all Muslims. Yeah, I think we can judge people just like we do individually, right? The content of their character.
Yeah, which is
see what they
the
are.
Point I was making half hour ago.
Well, I'm just elaborating on it because we have to stretch out the show.
No, we don't. We have more than enough. There's a lot of stuff at the bottom of our list that I'd like to get to.
Yeah, but it's all stuff you added, and it's not that great.
Yeah. It's weird how this week I actually added something. I usually don't.
And it was very bad.
I put it first, and then
I put it way down at the bottom.
There's some local news in there. There's some recent news in there.
What's the local news?
It's from Michigan, the dude that tweeted.
Oh, that's a Michigan thing?
It's Michigan, Walt Blake.
But it's applicable nationwide. That's
right.
That's what we do in our show. It's great. All right, so we'll move on.
You realize all news is local.
Bad news. Mateen's wife apparently was missing. FBI wanted to talk to her. But wait, there's more. Apparently there's one wife that was divorced or supposedly divorced, and then they found another wife that he's actually married to now and has a child with. So who's who and what's what?
So which
I don't
one's
know.
The one,
I am very confused.
One of them apparently knew he
was
going to
one
do it?
actually, I guess, communicated to the feds or something about the terror plot, or said something to them saying she tried to talk him out of it or something. So she could be in hot water as an accessory and all of that. It's very confusing. I couldn't get much out of the interwebs.
The media, yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. One looks like a green. The first one from 2009 looks like a green card marriage, is what they're saying, from Uzbekistan. That didn't last very long, but then it says
Long enough for her to become a citizen.
probably. And then the John Smith married current woman has a son, and
A baby.
nobody's
right?
discussing
it's like
about
2
it.
or 3 years old.
3-year-old son.
Yeah.
Her name is Moore Shahi Shalama, age 30. And she apparently has erased all of her social
Yeah,
media
that's
history.
Not the name that I have, but okay.
Noor Shahi Shalam.
Zahi Salman?
Salam.
There's an
Salman. Yeah, you're right. Salam.
Oh my God.
Noor well, see,
You're terrible at this. You're terrible.
You're
terrible.
I don't know Arabic.
You really need
Nor
to be,
do I know
it's not,
Aramaic.
It's not
Aramaic.
Arabic. You really need to be more tolerant.
Or Hebrew. I don't know. Is this what? It's not
Arabic or Hebrew.
It's not the Queen's English, so I don't know.
That's true. Okay, can we listen to our great leader?
All right, so this is what Obama. Well, first we got to preface it, right? Because the first one we're going to do is we'll have the first one where he's in the.
What did I name that?
Brian Jeffs is great.
Yeah.
That's the shorter one, if that helps you, where he's in the White House in an informal setting. It looks like he's doing an interview with someone else. They come in and ask him some questions. He's sort of ad-libbing
Not
his
an
thought.
official press conference.
Right, and then the second one will be an official press conference. So
okay.
It's about guns.
Oh.
It also appears that he was able to obtain these weapons legally because he did not have a criminal record that in some ways would prohibit him from purchasing these weapons. It appears that one of those weapons he was able to just carry out of the store, an assault rifle.
So he actually bought a product from a retail store, and he was actually able to just carry it out of the store.
Yeah, that doesn't actually seem right to me.
Now, I don't know how else people would buy. I mean, does it appear like down the chimney?
Well, right. So, yeah, if you
does it come via email?
I think he was thinking like if you buy a gun online, does it just show up at your front door? I think he was thinking along those lines, and that's what should happen.
But this guy actually
he went
in and bought a gun and then walked out with it.
Yeah, he probably gave them money.
Yeah, they did a background check.
They certainly did a background check.
He came back okie dokie.
Yep,
they
said, sure did.
Give us money, and we will give you this product that we sell for a slight profit. And you, as a free American, can take this product and do anything within the law.
You can actually carry it out of the store yourself.
You can use this product for all lawful purposes.
Yeah.
And you was able to just walk out of the store.
Just walked right out. That's weird.
That shows you how ignorant this piece of crap is in the White House about firearms and firearm laws. It's disgusting that this man wants to do something about something he has no idea about. Nothing. It gets even more obvious later on.
And that's really typical of almost all anti-gun people.
It really is.
I honestly, and I've ran across a lot of anti-gun people. I've literally never once met one that talked to me that knew anything about guns.
They don't want to know. They listen to the crap, the propaganda, the lies, where we as a pro-gun entity ourselves, we don't want to make that mistake. We don't want to look like fools and idiots.
Yeah.
We go out of our way to look and verify and document and look at the data and try to come up with things that are actually based on something that we can back up with data.
Yeah, but what good does it do? Is what I'm wondering. Because
good.
We've been wasting our breath for how many years?
47 years.
And
now.
I've kind of always had this line of, I don't care what the statistics say. Freedom is freedom.
Right. We've been on the internet for 47 years now, and we've been saying this day in and day out.
Yeah, and I think it's wasted because there aren't too many hardcore anti-gun liberals that are going to change their mind even when you tell them the data, because they're just going to cite some study that Obama has cited that says, well, 40% of all gun sales are done without background checks.
But the thing is that keeps us going, Nate, for the 47 years is every once in a while we can take somebody that was anti-gun and explain to them what the data shows, take them to a gun range, and turn them around.
Yeah.
And we've actually, it's rare.
It is rare.
It's the only thing that keeps us going is that it can happen.
I was gonna say that the one thing that I've seen in common with all of those is that trip to the gun range. Honestly, and I've seen this a couple times myself, people that are kind of anti-gun, not really, I want to take your freedoms away, but like, I don't like guns, I don't want guns around me, I'm afraid of them. You take them to a gun range, you let them shoot a decent gun that won't hurt them, like an AR-15, and we'll get to that. And it kind of turns them around, right? Because they shoot it, and they're like, this didn't bruise my shoulder. I didn't smell any destruction.
I didn't have PTSD.
I didn't have PTSD temporarily. I didn't cry, even though I am a female.
So we'll get to that later. You're foreshadowing, and we should throw it in there now, but we won't.
Yeah.
Because we have a strict outline.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Where were we? Oh, so Obama. Yeah.
A handgun, a Glock, which had a lot of clips in it.
It was.
It had a lot of clips in it.
I bet it jammed.
Why would it jam?
Because usually you only put 0 clips, but if you, I'm just imagining a Glock with like a bunch of paper clips and binder clips,
Or actually,
hair clips, or like a stripper clip for like an M1 Garand or something.
Yeah, military clip. Yeah, it wouldn't work. But it had several clips in it.
It did, and that's what we were doing. If you imagine, hold your hand out in front of you and kind of measure like 3 inches between your thumb and your index finger. That's what he did, right?
Like, he's got
a lot of clips.
A lot of
I don't know.
clips
What does that mean?
I don't know. Maybe he thinks the clip is 3
like
inches
by volume.
big. Yeah.
Like clips like this, or was he talking like this many bullets? Is that what he meant?
I think that's
was
what
a lot
he
of
meant,
bullets,
but
or
I
did
don't
he
know.
mean the guy had a lot of magazines with him? Because he did,
or clips.
apparently, or clips. I don't know what he had with him. He may have.
So again,
You realize he didn't even use an AR-15.
yeah, right. He's an idiot.
Yeah,
Our commander in chief.
yeah, that's sad too. He's not the first idiot we've ever had in that
No,
position.
no.
And he won't be the last.
You
we're
said-
going to get another one next year.
You said
Or, well, yeah, starting next year.
you said he was your
He's in my bottom
of your
40 presidents.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
listed one other president that you hated more.
No.
You said.
Well, I said no.
you said Woodrow Wilson.
Woodrow Wilson is down there.
Yeah.
I don't know if I hate him more or
Well,
less.
he started the League
I
of
don't hate
Nations and the
people,
UN.
but The League of Nations sounds kind of fun.
Until it turns into
It's like
the UN.
Thursday Night Golf League.
Was apparently required to wait for 3 days under Florida law. But it does indicate the degree to which it was not difficult for him to obtain these kinds of weapons. Director Comey will discuss the fact that there had been some investigation.
All right. So, yeah, he goes on to talk about how the FBI had investigated him a couple times.
But what I can't stand about the man is that it was so easy to buy a gun. It's supposed to be easy to buy a gun.
Right.
It's a right that is recognized by the government. And they need extraordinary circumstances, in principle, to infringe upon that right. So the idea of actually going into a retail center and buying a product and walking out with it, I don't find unusual at
I mean,
all.
in fact, when he
I can buy a car.
when he starts
like
talking about he had to wait 3 days for the Glock, that makes me angry.
Yeah. That's
Why?
ridiculous. And I don't know if that's true in Florida or not. Is there a 3-day waiting list
I don't
for
know.
a
He
handcuff?
said there was. He's the president. He would know.
Yeah, I don't think there is.
He's a constitutional law professor.
He's a scholar. He's a gentleman and a scholar and
Here's
a fine
a
judge
question
of
for you.
Muslim terrorists.
Right? All these asses that think waiting periods are a good thing and why can you just go in, buy it, and walk right out? What the hell good did a 3-day waiting period do? And if it would have been a 5-day waiting period,
Wouldn't have
what
mattered.
good would that have
30
done?
days. Wouldn't have mattered. A year, it wouldn't have mattered. If he wanted to do what he wanted to do, he was willing to wait a year. So what do you do?
He had been planning, right? I mean, it wasn't like he stopped at the... he didn't go to the gun store, go to the Dunkin' Donuts next door, and then walk in, the same day.
So the thing is, what anti-gun people in government really mean when they talk about reasonable gun laws is they want to ban everybody from owning firearms. It's no longer hidden. They no longer try to hide the fact that that's the issue. That is what they mean. Because there's no other way that they can try to control citizens buying guns. And even if they banned all guns today, there's 350 million firearms around.
Yeah.
They can be made in a garage in a matter of hours.
Yeah.
Bullets can be made and manufactured in people's homes.
Yeah, but I think you would make that illegal, though.
Well, of course you'd make it illegal.
So it
doesn't
wouldn't be
stop it.
It wouldn't be a problem then.
So it's not about control.
It is about control.
Yeah, I mean, it's not about safety and all that crap. It's about...
And it's not about mass shootings.
And it's part of Alinsky's plan to disarm the population because...
it was Hitler's plan, too. He had some help.
I was listening... It's sad. I was listening to my favorite radio station, NPR, WMSU. WMSU? Yeah, WMSU. WKAR, at Michigan State University.
Come on now.
Anyways...
My favorite is Red State Talk Radio.
They had a guy in there that was doing a tour of the Holocaust, and they had things. And he was talking about how they would take and round up in these smaller towns all the Jews in the town, march them out into the woods, and then shoot them. They have them take all their clothes off, shoot them, and then take the clothes back into the town and sell them at like yard sales to the non-Jews in the community. And the point was that those non-Jews in that village knew exactly what happened and did nothing. And one of the reasons they did nothing is, what could they do? Because they were disarmed.
Right.
What could they do?
They could have tried to stand up, but they would have been led into the woods, had their clothes taken off, and been shot.
And sold to their neighbor.
Yeah.
That is a frightening scenario, and that happened 75, 80 years ago. Not that long in
really
human
not
history.
that long ago.
So to say that that isn't a possibility that could happen here is naive at best.
Yeah. All right. This clip is actually, I think it's from the press conference that Obama did. I think it was on Tuesday. I think it was his first,
like the 14th,
like the official press conference
immediately after the shooting.
Yeah.
Lastly, here at home, if we really want to help law enforcement protect Americans from homegrown extremists, the kind of tragedies that occurred at San Bernardino and that now have occurred in Orlando, there is a meaningful way to do that. We have to make it harder for people who want to kill Americans to get their hands on weapons of war that let them kill dozens of innocents. It is absolutely true. We cannot prevent every tragedy. But we know that, consistent with the Second Amendment, there are common sense steps that could reduce gun violence and could reduce the lethality of somebody who intends to do other people harm.
Now shut up. I mean
how about, I got an idea.
Come on.
I got an idea. Let lawful Americans carry a firearm wherever they're legally allowed to be. In other words, let's end the state-sanctioned killing zones that they have there called gun-free zones. Because obviously gun-free zones don't work because they are chosen by these mass shooters time in and time again because they know that not many people are going to be there. And they want to up their body count before they get killed. They know they're going to go in there and get killed. They want to be killed. They're martyrs for the cause, whatever it might be. But they damn sure don't want to be killed only after they killed just one or two people.
Yeah.
They want the bodies to hit the floor. Right? Is that the song?
Yeah, but it's a good song in a terrible situation, so it's not.
It's not
Doesn't
appropriate.
seem appropriate at all.
Yeah, it is.
No.
But that's what they want. They want to drop as many people as they can before they go out. And if you would get rid of these damn gun-free zones and allow these people that have concealed weapons permits that have been vetted, or even those states that have constitutional carry where you don't even, thank goodness, need a permit, to allow them to be to carry their firearms wherever they're lawfully allowed to be. Yeah. Then perhaps the playing field, which is a bad metaphor, the battlefield would be leveled. And maybe we wouldn't have these kinds of atrocities. And maybe these kinds of people would think twice before they go in to a nightclub where maybe 30% of the people in there might have a firearm to shoot back at them. And that's what he doesn't get.
Yeah. You think it's a little ironic that he and previous presidents, I mean, not just him, but are actually
Bus stop around?
they're giving actual weapons of war to terrorists? Like actually shipping, like rocket launchers and tanks and
that's
things.
the other thing that just pisses me off is people say, well, you're paranoid because you think you can fight against the government if you have your little guns and stuff, but they have tanks and airplanes and all this stuff. Well, that's true, but then why is our government shipping thousands and thousands of automatic weapons to like Syria and other countries in the Middle East to fight the government that's in power? You would think that if those types of firearms weren't effective, they wouldn't send them over there. They would just send over, their tanks.
Well, they do that also.
Yeah. But my point is they send millions of rifles over there for the so-called freedom fighters to fight back against their government. Why can't our government have those same armaments?
Yeah. It's horrible. So let's take a break real quick. We come back.
Was that the end of it?
No, but all right.
I think you should play it before we go to break.
Right.
We should give ATF the resources they need to enforce the gun laws that we already have.
They already have it.
People with possible ties to terrorism who aren't allowed on a plane shouldn't be allowed to buy a gun.
Disagree with that entirely,
Like
right?
Mr. Kennedy?
Well, the thing is, you have no due process. How are you put on the list? If you are a political rival for somebody, they put you on the list, they deny you of your constitutional rights. Listen, if these people are so dangerous that they can't fly or they aren't allowed to buy a gun, then arrest them.
Yeah, why are they not walking around
and let a court
free?
and a jury of their peers decide whether they are guilty or not, and then restrict their freedom or their rights of the Second Amendment. But to put them on a list and deny it, that's crap. And if this country, we'll get to that in a minute with the Democratic filibuster, but oh my God, that makes me so mad. You can't deny people's right by be putting on a list. I mean, that's Orwellian.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about Democrats, but there were Republicans that are involved in this too.
And maybe Trump. We don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll get into that. But let's listen to the rest of it, and we'll go into break.
Enough talking about being tough on terrorism.
Yeah.
Actually be tough on terrorism. And stop making it easy as possible for terrorists to buy assault weapons.
But
I think
that's not really being tough on terrorism.
No, it's not. But I think his statement of stop talking about being tough on terrorism and start actually being tough on terrorism.
That's good.
Would be great advice for him.
But restricting firearm rights from potentially law-abiding citizens is not the way to go about it.
Reinstate the assault weapons ban. Make it harder for terrorists to use these weapons to kill us.
Yeah. Disagree.
Otherwise,
hasn't worked.
Despite extraordinary efforts across our government.
Oh, I don't know about that.
By local law enforcement, by our intelligence agencies, by our military, despite all the sacrifices that folks make.
Disagree with that.
These kinds of events are going to keep on happening.
I agree with that.
And the weapons are only going to get more powerful.
I'm excited.
And let me make a final point. For a while now, the main...
All right, I don't care. I'm excited that and he's predicting, and I don't know how, but he's predicting that there's going to actually be more powerful, I assume, assault weapons, because that's what he was talking about.
There's going to even be more. Actually, we were talking before the show that our weapons have actually decreased in their power.
Well, such as the AR-15, the M16, right?
Is less than the M1 Garand, which is a 30-06.
And I was what I asked you, and you completely dodged the question because you didn't know the answer, was what was the last time that a more powerful gun or round was created? And I don't know the answer either, but it hasn't been like extremely recent history. It's not like every month, if we don't do something about assault weapons, next month there's going to be a more powerful round out there.
And pretty soon you'll be able to buy a rifle that shoots an atomic bomb.
Really?
In 6 months.
That'd be awesome.
That's an exponential growth.
Yeah, it's like Moore's Law for guns. You don't know what that is.
I do know what it is. I do. It's computer stuff, and now fast and fast the computers get. And all that stuff. Yeah, I do know.
We'll be right back.
Screw you!
Lock it in. And rip the knob off. Red State Talk Radio.
My Parents Open Carry, a pro-gun kids book from White Feather Press. 13-year-old Brenna and her parents spend their day in typical fashion. But what's not so typical is that Brenna's parents lawfully open carry handguns for self-defense. And the Strongs join a growing number of families who are standing up for their Second Amendment right and bringing gun ownership out of the closet. Order your copy of this unique kids book at myparentsopencarry.com.
It's a bumpy ride through the political jungle with Nate and Brian.
Believe me, if I started murdering people, there'd be none of you left.
What? The following message contains a special offer for listeners of this station. Are you a man over 40? Are you constantly looking for the nearest bathroom? Do you wake up multiple times a night to use the bathroom? Right now, Perfect Prostate is sending out free bottles of their groundbreaking new formula to listeners of this station. Perfect Prostate formula was developed by medical doctor Mitchell Fleischer, and its ingredients have been clinically studied to reduce your frequent nighttime bathroom visits and promote healthy urine flow. Right now, preferred customers get their first bottle of Perfect Prostate absolutely free. There's nothing to lose. Perfect Prostate is guaranteed to reduce that constant urge to use the bathroom, especially at night, and promote healthy urine flow. Don't wait. Call now for your free bottle. Just pay shipping and processing. Dial 1-800-680-9903. That's 1-800-680-9903. Supplies are limited. One free bottle per household. Call now. Dial 1-800-680-9903. That's 1-800-680-9903.
Whenever I'm feeling a little down under, I can always count on Nate and Brian for their interesting perspective on topics important to freedom and civil rights by listening to the At Odds Show. Nate and Brian cover important topics with insight, intelligence, and of course humor. I can always expect a laugh or two. So if you want to be informed and have a great time, give these guys a listen.
At Odds.
Are you looking for some way cool t-shirts? Check out ChugDug.com. They have hundreds of crazy fun t-shirts like gun, patriotic, and you better believe zombie shirts. At ChugDug.com, you'll find quality shirts at a quality price. All shirts start at just $10 with free shipping over $50. Mention Radio 1 coupon code at checkout and grab a cool 10% off. That's ChugDug.com. T-shirts with attitude.
The At Odds Show with the greatest political talk show hosts in history, Nate and Brian. And it's sad that they actually believe that. So give a listen because the delusional need love too.
Here's George Foreman with InventHelp.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call InventHelp today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
To get your free inventor's information, call 1-800-353-4716. That's 1-800-353-4716. Again, 1-800-353-4716.
And welcome back to At Odds. I'm Nate. That's Brian.
Howdy ho.
We were, I guess we're still on gun control, right? I think.
Well, yeah. We
can move on a little bit away from the Orlando, like the details of the Orlando shooting. But Donald Trump put a tweet out saying he was going to meet with the NRA to talk about not allowing people who are on the terror watch list to buy firearms. Yeah. And everyone went nuts.
Crazy.
Said he flip-flop. I don't think it's a flip-flop necessarily.
Yeah, because he never said he supported it necessarily.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's that technical out that
but
he could be going there to try to convince the NRA to stop supporting gun control. That'd be great. I hope that's what he's doing.
Well, but the history of NRA is to actually,
support gun control.
Yeah, and actually written some of the most onerous gun control laws in our 100-year history.
I guess what I'm saying is, as far as flip-flopping, the idea of not allowing people on the terror watch list to buy firearms or have certain freedoms, that's not a foreign concept to Republicans. There's plenty of Republicans that think that's the right thing to do because they're so anti-terrorist that if you're even suspected...
Or anti-Constitution.
Right. Well, I mean, for example, think of
a simple concept.
Think of all the Republicans that say, share this if you think that if you're under investigation by the FBI, you shouldn't be allowed to run for president.
Right.
What's the difference? It's exactly the same. You're taking away a right from somebody because they're
based on
being investigated.
Right. And anybody
you want to talk about due process? Come on.
Investigated for anything. For
Come on.
Any
of course, we're referring to Hillary Clinton, who is being investigated and is running for president.
And I use that with my liberal Democratic friends. I said, listen, if you want to ban people from buying guns because they're being investigated by the FBI, then maybe Hillary Clinton shouldn't be allowed to run for president for the same, logical argument.
Yeah. The problem is there's a lot of conservative Republicans that think that that's actually the case, that she shouldn't be allowed to run.
Right.
And there's a lot of conservative Republicans that think terrorists are so bad that if you're on the terror watch list...
Right. We do whatever we can for people's safety because nothing says safety like infringing on people's freedoms.
Well, the Patriot Act, right?
And they voted for that.
NDAA, right?
Yes, and they voted for that.
So, come on now. Related to that, the Democrats had a nice filibuster. It didn't get as much press as like Ted Cruz's or Rand Paul's, I don't think. But 14 hours, that's respectable. It's a long time.
Not bad.
To not go.
They were talking about their kids and hockey games and everything else.
Yeah, it was horrible. So anyway, they were filibustering. It was a Democrat, Chris Murphy from Connecticut, said he was going to filibuster until the Republicans agreed to take a vote on gun control. Right. And apparently, he said that Mitch McConnell did agree to vote on it.
Yeah.
So what they want to do is put a couple amendments on a spending bill that they're trying to get through because. Spending bill's the best place to have gun control.
Right. And what were those amendments?
Oh, there's a bunch of them, but so
two biggies.
Dianne Feinstein, right? And Republican Senator John Cornyn, they got together
for all places.
Yeah, they got together to write an amendment that would allow the Attorney General to prevent anybody that's been under investigation that's a suspected terrorist, whatever that means, to revoke their gun rights.
ridiculous.
Now, he was a little concerned because he was a Republican. He said, that's not enough due process, so what should really happen is that a court should have to approve it within 3 days.
Oh, that's impossible.
Oh, come on.
But maybe a conviction in a court of law might be something.
Yeah, that
they
might be
may
good.
Consider.
That might be good. I mean, so Pat Toomey, another Republican,
Pennsylvania,
he suggests having a secret court.
Oh,
that gets
even
together
better.
and looks at
even better.
Yeah, I mean, we already have secret courts.
I
right?
love secret courts.
He said we have these.
Nothing says freedom and transparency like a secret court.
Well, it's the secret foreign intelligence surveillance court. I think that's FISA.
Oh boy!
So we have a secret court, and they just look at the list and they're like, "Yeah, these guys. I mean, their names look like they're probably terrorists."
Uh-huh. Oh, and this guy said something bad about me in high school. We'll
yeah,
put him
right.
on the list.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So he's saying this. It's not rocket science.
Yeah,
it's not rocket science.
Easy.
We just could probably figure this out. Yeah, it's horrible.
It's easy to deny people's rights. It's easy.
He was actually talking to anti-gun groups. That's where he was getting his ideas from. He went to all these groups that Bloomberg was supporting and was like, hey, moms that are afraid of everything, what do you think we should do? I mean, a Republican that claims to be conservative, they all do, right? You shouldn't. There are certain things that you don't compromise on, and you don't have to go to the anti-gun groups and find out how they're feeling today to decide what kind of bill you want to support.
I see it talks about firearms or explosives. Now, what's an explosive?
An AR-15.
No, I don't think so. In Michigan, you have to get a permit to buy dynamite.
Yeah.
And they usually give them to scientists who do seismic stuff because they use an explosive to collect data. Or like farmers who are blowing stumps and stuff like that. So it's quite well regulated. But if you look at McVeigh, who just put diesel fuel and fertilizer together.
Yeah, those aren't regulated.
Those aren't regulated yet.
Too much. I mean, they are regulated, but
yeah. So what's an explosive?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So
it's scary, Nate.
What it came down to is they want to expand background checks and mental health screenings at gun shows. Get rid of the gun show loophole and online.
Which doesn't exist.
Because you can just go online and have it shipped to you, right? Joe Manchin, though.
Oh, my God.
Sorry, I forgot about this. Yeah, he was on some talk show
today. He's a
today.
Democrat from West Virginia.
He is. He was on some talk show today talking about how horrible this is. And he said, what's really killing us right now is all this due process stuff.
Oh, I hate due process.
That's what
it just hinders us from doing stuff.
That's exactly what he said. Is the Fifth Amendment.
Oh, I hate
it's
that.
Just really.
I've had police officers tell me that they hate the Fourth Amendment, which is the search and seizure. They should be able to just search anybody anytime for whatever reason they want. Kind of like Canada.
Yeah, I said Fifth Amendment. I don't know why.
No, it is the Fifth Amendment. It's due process.
Fourth.
No, it is. It's the Fifth Amendment.
The third.
No, the third is quartering soldiers.
That's the important one.
No, but no, you're right. Fifth is a due process. Now, the fourth is the search and seizure type stuff.
Without due process.
No, without getting a warrant. They're two separate things. You are correct.
Yikes. Okay, so what's this next? Let's move on.
I never did my trivia. Real quick. Can I do it?
Oh, no.
I want to do it real quick because we had fans say they hated.
No, we've got 5 minutes. Hurry up.
No, that they hated the presidential stuff. So I'm going to, real easy. Who did James Earl Jones shoot in Memphis in April of 1968?
Johnny Cash, just to watch him die.
No, I think James Earl Ray was the guy that did the voice of Darth Vader, right?
Who? You said James Earl Jones.
James Earl Ray is the guy that shot somebody.
All right. But I don't know. Who was it? Who did he shoot?
Well, of course he shot Martin Luther King.
Oh, Junior?
No. Oh, yeah, Junior. Yeah, of course, yeah, Junior. Goodness Lord. No, the actual Martin Luther from 1596 or whatever. Okay. I was going to do the history stuff.
No, there is no time for that one because we have
first roller coaster in America opens in 1884 in Coney Island.
That's
all
cool.
Yeah.
No, that's pretty cool. We have to get to this next one.
Which is what?
It says something about balls.
Oh yeah, the reporter that went and shot an AR-15 and how it almost destroyed him mentally and physically.
It did. He had PTSD.
I don't know who he was.
Who cares?
Oh, New York Daily
Who cares?
News.
Yeah, of course. But who
he
cares?
Goes there. He goes.
He shot pistols before.
Oh, I squeezed lightly on the trigger, and the resulting explosion of firepower is humbling and deafening, even with ear protection. The recoil bruised my shoulder, and the brass shells casing disoriented me as they flew past my face. The smell of sulfur and destruction made me sick. The explosions, loud like a bomb, gave me a temporary case of PTSD for at least an hour after firing the gun. I was anxious and irritable. And even in semi-auto mode, it's the only mode you have, jackass. It is very simple to squeeze off 24 rounds before you even know what has happened. In fully automatic mode, it doesn't take any imagination to see dozens of bodies falling in front of your barrel.
Yeah, so I have been...
oh, Lord, what a PSY.
I've been to, I think, more gun ranges, and I think I've shot more guns than he has. First of all, there's nothing I love...
9-year-old girls
There's
have.
nothing I love more than the smell of destruction in the morning.
Yeah.
But...
it feels like victory. It smells like victory.
I've never been at a range shooting guns and in my head imagined
bodies
falling
in front of me. This guy is a douchebag with a capital D and a capital B.
So there's a couple possibilities. One,
This is hyperbole.
That's one of the possibilities. The other is he really is a wuss.
He could be a PSY.
I mean, he really could be a wuss. I mean, this came out, and then cue the videos of tons and tons of 7- and 9-year-old girls shooting this
Actually,
and loving it.
In competitions.
Loving it.
Where they're shooting hundreds of rounds, handguns and rifles. And this guy has PTSD.
Yeah, Look, he's
so anxious and irritable, Nate.
He's the kind of person that we need to have mental health checks for.
He's the kind of person that we should ship to Canada.
He'd fit right in.
Right.
They'd be like, wow, you're tough.
Hey, Gordy, come on over here and have some whitefish there. And
how did you get so tough down there in America?
Oh, God, you're toughy up here, you know. Oh, you're kicking all our asses up here. Well, you shot an AR-15. Oh boy, we're going to leave you alone.
I really don't even feel bad for making fun of the dude because it's
horrible.
Ridiculous.
I can understand all BS.
It's irrational, but I can understand being nervous and scared, like on your way there or something. Right, first time. I mean, like we were talking before. People are scared, and you take
hyperbole. This guy was.
Come on.
Really, explosions like a bomb?
Well, it is explosions like a small bomb.
And I imagine dozens of people. It was humbling and deafening. The recoil bruised my shoulder. Really?
People bruise. He might have been a hemophiliac.
He might have been on some kind of blood thinner that makes him
exactly
bruise easy. This is the kind of guy that couldn't handle a handshake.
Right. Exactly. And he probably doesn't because you don't handshake in your safe place.
All right. Well, anyways, he's a DB, right? Douchebag.
You already said it, 6 times, so it doesn't matter.
You want to talk about Philadelphia passes tax on pop?
Not really.
Can you believe that? 1.5 cents per ounce.
Per ounce on sugary, and diet beverages, so whatever that
really?
means.
In diet, too? That's not fair.
Now you don't like it, right?
I don't like it at all.
Apparently Berkeley, California.
I supported it until then.
Berkeley, California, the only other place that has a tax on this sort of thing.
Can you believe that?
It's absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. So the mayor who pushed this, he said that Americans generally
seem to work either.
Americans don't like other people telling them what's healthy for them. So we didn't tell them what's healthy for them. Instead of telling them what's healthy, we just taxed the things that we, the government, think they shouldn't have.
It's just another tax.
It's
more control.
$1.44 on a 6-pack of 16-ounce bottles.
Yep.
$1.44 extra. Imagine every time you go to Meijer or Walmart and you buy a 6-pack of pop, 16-ounce bottles. Those are smaller, not even a 20-ounce. $1.44
is going to the government.
is going to do things like pay for city employee benefits.
And the idea behind this is that it will try to persuade you not to buy so much pop.
Right. Absolutely horrible. All right, we are out of time, though.
Oh, boy.
Well, not quite yet, but it...
That's fine. We can talk
about...
No,
it's good. All right.
Oh, let's talk... I know what...
See you next week.
No. We have our shirts. Oh...